Hi everyone, I'm Mora He Murong from Shenzhen Middle School. Today, the topic I'm going to talk about is hearing her through the lens, from Bangladesh to rural China, the woman that the data has forgotten. Now, everyone, please close your eyes and imagine a symphony orchestra mid-performance. What do you hear first? Perhaps it is a bright sweep of violins, the sounder of timpani, or the triumphant rise of brass? But somewhere on the score, there is a voice that you almost miss. A voice that may doesn't reach for the attention, but contribute greatly to the whole harmony. In the true symphony, this voice may be the double bass, which is often ignored due to its deep voice. But in the symphony of our time, there is also one section that the world has stopped listening to. That is the voice of women in the world's forgotten villages. They don't appear in GDP headlines, they aren't on the stage of tech commits, but their labor, their choices, the quiet way that they hold each other up are all contributing to the harmony in our era. And now let me show you three numbers. 1 in 2 girls in Bangladesh are married under the age of 18, which is the highest rate in Asia. And before 1983, less than 1% of the bank borrowers in Bangladesh are women. And today, more than 1 in 5 people live on less than $2.15 per day. And these are statistics, but a statistic can never look bad through a viewfinder. So now let me put the numbers down and pick out the camera. Here comes the first place, Bangladesh. I was standing in a village outside Dhaka, which is the capital of Bangladesh. It was an early morning and already really hot, and I wasn't sure if I have the right to point my lens to anyone. And then I saw her, a woman in her 30s, standing in the doorway of her house, not performing, not waiting. And I asked her if I could take a photo of you. She covered her face and laughed. She has spent her entire life working, giving, caring, and no one has never pointed a lens toward her and asked, do you want to be take a photo of? She has never been a subject of a photograph before. And in this moment, she decided for the first time to be seen. And at this moment, I think I wasn't a researcher anymore. I was a witness. And this story was recorded with full permission. And on her hand, there is a phone with $20. This $20 came from a microfinance program called Grameen Model. With that phone, she could check crop prices, she could transfer money without working 4 hours to a bank, and she could earn her own income and keep it. To this moment, I finally understand what $20 could actually mean to a woman. And during my last day also, what surprises me most is that she really turns her doorway into a sketchboard. For example, her neighbor can come to her for rice prices on the phone. A young mother can come her to reach a clinic for her young old child. Also, the members in her lending group, which is a circle of 5 women who vote for each other, can also sharing their knowledge on the phone about how to earn money. One loan, one woman, one phone. That really becomes an instrument that the whole street could play. And during my last day stay in Bangladesh, I didn't interview anyone. I just wrote a sentence on my note really quietly. Empowerment is a moment that a woman stops asking permission to exist. Now comes to our second place, local village in Jiangsu, China. The model here may look different on the surface. Small loans, women only, no collateral required, just a circle of 5 who vote for one another. The logic is really simple and ancient. If you can't replay, your circles will step in. And when they step in for you, you will step in for them. Your cry for worthiness is not just a number, it's a relationship. And I sat in on their good meeting and hear what they are talking about. What struck me was that they are not just talk about how to earn money. They talk about whose doctor have been to secondary school, whose husband has been ill, whose vegetable stock has been had a bad week. The loan was the reason they gathered, but the gathering was a real scene, and all images shared here are with full permission. And also, there is one quote from a woman that really impressed me during my interview. She said, "Before, I cried alone when something goes bad in my house, but now I have 4 sisters who will pick their phone up." Also, if we contrast the model of Bangladesh and local village in together, these are the same melody, but with 2 different countries, 2 different currencies. In Bangladesh, a phone, $20, a doctor in school. In local village, a live stream, 5 sisters, an economy of trust. Different currencies, one belief. The belief that when you give a woman the tools and the dignity to act on their own belief, she will just change her life, but she will change the life of everyone around her. And also, there's one important thing that I should mention, because now I'm standing on this stage to speak for them. However, the most important way to empower someone is never just speaking for them. We can just handle them an instrument and let them play for themselves. And what we should do is just try to listen. These are all the faces that the data has forgotten. They are not case studies, they are not footnotes. They are just the composers of the symphony that we are just beginning to listen. And also, I believe that for many of us, we also have some stories that the data has forgot. And the way to record the stories is really simple. You don't need a film crew, you don't need a research grant, you just need 4 things. First, ask. Get their consent first, because a story taken without permission is just a theft. Second, listen. Let them talk before you actually try to film them. And there's a sentence that the real thing is usually the second thing they tell you. The third thing, capture, because one honest images will beat 100 staged ones. And fourth, share. Put it where the people with power could see it, and everyone could see these stories. So now, everyone, please just pick up the camera and take your seat in the orchestra and try to listen for the part of the symphony that we've been missing all along. And that's all. Thank you for your listening.